Take questions after.
We're excited to get back in Coleman. Thought we had a good week, 2 games on the road last week, but last time we played here, we had a good crowd. I'm expecting a great crowd again. It's good for our players. We're able to be home. I had a couple good practices. It was the first time we're playing team twice, so we're trying to improve on the last time. I don't think we can count on them shooting free throws as poorly as they did the last time, so we're going to be better. I didn't think we were great against them first time we played them. They're one of the best rebounding teams in the country. They're one of the best defensive teams in the country. Our offense has to be better, and we're trying to get a little bit better every game. So, and I think they're playing pretty well. So we've got our hands full tomorrow.
Start with Charlie.
You guys continue to win games and rise in the rankings. Have you have you found yourself having maybe fight complacency, or is that something that hasn't been an issue this year?
You know what? I mean, obviously, coaching as long as I have, it's natural that you'd have to fight it when you're having success like we have right now. But I think this group's done a really good job fighting it on their own. We talk about not getting complacent. How maybe last year's team did after we had some early non-conference wins. But I think this group's pretty mature, and I think the depth, the maturity, the professionalism, the depth of the team, all of it helps. Guys are mature and understand what we've got at stake. We're playing for a #1 seed in the NCAA tournament. We're playing for a SEC championship. You can't afford to have a letdown. If you want to be playing your best basketball in March, you've got to continue to get better every game. So I think there's a maturity about them. I think we've got a lot of guys that are very professional. I mean, you think of the freshmen and how they act, like they're in to get better at basketball, they're in to make themselves better, and they understand they themselves individually have to get better. And then, the depth of the team, guys are challenging each other in practice every day. I mean, you look at, we've got 11 guys that can all really play. It's hard to distribute minutes amongst 11 guys, so there's a competitiveness, and it's probably the best I've ever seen, a competitiveness while still really pulling for your teammates to do well too. I mean, today in practice, I thought Amari was really good on defense. Rylan and Amari play similar positions. Rylan, subs in and says, I'm trying to get like you and Amari, like I'm trying to get as good on defense as you are. It's like one of those, like, they really want each other to do well, but they're also pushing each other to do even better. So it's a special group, but you guys have all covered sports, and complacency's a thing we've got to address, and we'll address it head on if we see it.
Austin?
Yeah, Tolu Smith, kind of, they go everything through him. You really were able to slow him down last time. I think you sent him to the free throw line 15 times and only made 3.
Yeah, I don't know if that was anything to do with us. I think he just missed a lot of free throws. That's why I don't think we can rely on him going 3 or 15 again.
In that game, you kind of seemed like you wanted to send him to blank because he was struggling. Let's say he starts making a bunch of them, do you have another different game plan?
Yeah, I'm going to be honest with you, that really wasn't the game plan. Yeah, that was us screwing up defense, and we went through that in video today, kind of our cleanup from last game. We didn't, I mean, it looks like genius coaching move, keep fouling a guy that can't make a free throw and they get no points, but that really wasn't it. That wasn't the plan. We were trying to not let him touch the ball. He just kept getting it, so we didn't do a very good job there. We were supposed to guard him without fouling. We didn't do a good job there. We were supposed to keep him off the glass. We didn't do a good job there. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, we have to be much better than we were last time we played them, because I don't anticipate them handing us free possessions by missing free throws. I felt like their shooters missed some wide open looks from 3 that we dodged bullets on. Like, I do feel like we're a much better defensive team today than we were when we played them the first time, but we got to be a lot better than we were the first time.
Mike?
Just with Amari, how far off do you think he is from getting back to a full minutes load, and then just do you envision shaking up what you kind of settled into a starting lineup without him? Just do you think he'll get back into that?
Yeah, I don't know how long until, because it's different guys are different. I thought he looked pretty good in practice today. He wasn't out for the extended time that he was the first time, the whole year when he blew his knee out, or that JQ was out for, but he was still long enough that you get out of sync a little bit, so, you know, we're trying to give him as many practice reps as we can, we give him as many game reps as we can, and I think, you know, as soon as we feel like he's back to full 100%, I mean, you know, a lot of your skill stuff disappears quickly, your shooting, your dribbling, you know, he's just gotta get back comfortable. If the wrist is 100%, it doesn't necessarily mean his skill set's back to 100%, so, and the only way you can really get that is doing a lot of live reps in practice, you know, spending some time outside of practice. He's one of the hardest working kids we got on the team, so I'm sure he's doing that. But when we do feel like he's back 100%, we'll have to evaluate at that point. I mean, we've been winning a lot of games with the lineup we've got, so it'd be hard to mess with it. But a lot of times these things take care of themselves as you kind of play through the season.
Kurt.
You alluded to it a little bit on the defense of your defense being better maybe now, but just as a overall of playing the team that you've already played, what's the difference between them now and then and now and maybe you and them since then?
I mean, I think them, you know, they're trying to play some more shooting. They're trying to space the floor a little bit more with some shooting. I think their defense is actually better, which was great when we played them, but I think their defense has gotten better because it's been tested more against better teams in the SEC. I think offensively, I think they knew coming in, you know, their non-conference schedule wasn't that strong, so they might have known that it wasn't, you know, good enough to win against tougher teams in the SEC, but I think they're getting a little more comfortable. They put a few more wrinkles in offensively to try to get some of the better guys shots. You know, they're still playing for the most part, you know, the same guys, at least heavy in the rotation. They're still relying on Tolu a lot, and he's still one of the best bigs in the league. So there's not significant changes with them, but I think they're better. Their record may not show it because they're losing SEC games, but shoot, it's not an easy league, and they played some tough teams in the SEC. So I do think they're better, and I told our guys that we've got to be much better than we were last game. So, but no, they're not. And us, I think we're better defensively. I think we're turning the ball over less now than we were when we played them. I think Quinterly's starting to come back around. You know, obviously, if you know, we'll have Namari where we didn't have him before. So I think we're a better team too, but I think they're definitely better. So we've got to improve from the first time we played them.
Tony.
You mentioned before you talked with Nick Kringle about there be certain games when you need him. Is this one of the ones that you think is going to be a Nick Kringle game?
We needed him last time. I mean, he was good offensively. You know, defensively, he was one who kept fouling Tolu, and looks like it might have been good because Tolu missed a bunch of free throws, but I don't really think it was great defense. But Charles got in foul trouble, which, you know, with the level of bigs that they have and how much they punch it in, I mean, it's a real possibility it could happen again. We're trying to get Charles to play a little better without fouling. But yeah, I mean, if Charles gets in foul trouble, the last time we played him too, Clowney was coming off an illness and he had lost a lot of weight, and so he just wasn't able to play as many minutes as he is now. So he's back healthy, so we've got that option to play him a little more at the 5. But this may be one of those games where we do need Pringle to play a lot more. I thought he had a great practice today, and I think he's had a great attitude. He's been ready when we put him in, and he was ready to lead the first time we played him.
And have you had a guy go 17 of 18?
No,
I know
that's
a lot of
pretty
it's,
crazy.
I know a lot of it's dunks, but how insane is that?
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't miss too many field goals. He's taking the right ones and making them all. So he's kind of helping our at the rim field goal percentage out because we got some other guys on the team that are not finishing at the rim very well. So no, I don't remember a guy. See if we can keep the streak alive and see if we can get him a few more though.
James.
So there is this adage of, you know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And I know that, you know, teams being very successful right now, and I know you're managing lineups and minutes and all that stuff, but how do you kind of manage the depth that you've praised and continue to compliment throughout the year with keeping the right guys on the floor and just keeping the hot guys going?
Yeah, we've had those discussions as a staff. Like it's hard, you know, like if you wouldn't have any injuries ever, it'd be nice to just have like a nice tight 8-man rotation. We don't we don't have that, and it's probably a good thing, cause, you know, we've been able to, Namari who's starting, goes out, we continue to win games. You know, different games, I think different guys are gonna have to step up. I think, you know, you kinda look at those wings down, Namari, Ryland, like, they're all playing hard. They're, you know, some of them are struggling shooting more than others, but, you know, if they were all shooting equally, I don't know where you go. It might be one of those games where figure out whether you need a little bit more rebounding, a little more defense, a little more shooting, what do you need on the floor at the time, you gotta go with that. And I do think there's a core group of guys that are gonna play pretty significant minutes, and then kinda use, you know, like Tony had the example of Pringle, like some games Pringle's gonna be needed, and some games he's not gonna be needed as much, so, you know, we gotta keep the guys' attitudes right. I think winning helps that. You know, it's a lot easier to not play as many minutes when you're the number 2 team in the country. Last year, some guys weren't playing very many minutes, and we weren't ranked, and that's a little harder to sell. So I think, you know, if we continue to keep winning and keep guys playing hard and getting better, that's the other thing too. Some of these guys, you know, Ryland's only a freshman. Like maybe he's not getting 20+ minutes, but he's definitely getting better. And he's gonna be really good for us in the future. He's gonna be a heavy rotation guy. Like some of these guys just need to see that they're getting better. Pringle's one, he's getting better and better every day in practice. So I think some of these guys are mature enough to understand that maybe they aren't getting a ton of game minutes, but their own individual game's getting much better. And they're going to be needed in this program, some this year and definitely in the future. And I think they're happy getting better individually.
Mason.
Coach, a couple of weeks ago, JQ and Ralph kind of talked about their relationship. Basically, JQ kind of serving as a mentor to Ralph. As having so many veterans who have experienced so much college basketball, how beneficial is it to have you veterans that can kind of serve as mentors to the younger players through their first seasons?
Look, yeah, I think it's really crucial. I think with the way the recruiting's gone, you know, for a while there, some of the high-level teams were getting a lot of one-and-dones. Now it's gone to a lot of transfers. Either way, you get brand new, fresh guys in every year, and I think if you're changing the whole roster over like that every year, it's hard to have any kind of continuity. So to have guys like Quinterly, Noah Gurley, even Charles, he was only here 1 year, but I think it's important to have guys that come back, know what the culture is supposed to be like, what the system's supposed to be like, are able to talk to guys. I think Noah Gurley's done a great job. I think Quinterly's done a great job. Charles is very quiet, but he's done well in talking to others. You know, we've got Namari's been here, even though he was hurt last year. He knows what we expect. So we've got some of those guys talking to the younger guys, and I think it's been a pretty good mix of veteran leadership, transfers, and then freshmen.
Nick.
You guys have kept turnovers pretty low in SEC games at home. Obviously, they force turnovers pretty well. What do you guys need to continue doing at home to make sure that doesn't become an issue?
Yeah, that's something we've talked about with the team, because I mean, if you look at Mississippi State, 2 things they do really, really well to rebound the ball. We've struggled rebounding it lately. In my opinion, we haven't done as good a job as we were at the beginning of the year. And the other one's turnovers, like you said, they're number 1 in the country, or they've got a guard that's number 1 in steal percentage. They're up at the top as a team in steal percentage, and we've had an issue turning the ball over for a large part of this year. So I think it's simplifying things for guys, putting them in the right spots, keeping the floor space, not trying to do too much. Like, I think we've been much better at it lately. You know, last Missouri, I did think Quinterly and Bradley weren't as good as we needed them to be as point guards. We need those guys to be a little better. I think Brandon and Sears played just about 70 minutes combined and only had the 1 turnover. Brandon didn't have any. Sears had the 1 at the end of the half, and we should have been holding for the last shot anyway. So those 2 guys are in a lot, handle the ball a lot, had no turnovers last game. We're really proud of them. We got to get Jaden had been a lot better. We got to get him back down to 1-2 turnovers a game, and Quinterly, we need to keep him down as well. If we can get the guys that are handling the ball heavy to not turn over much, and the guys that don't, that we're not asking to create much offense for us, they're playing off the other guys to not turn it over at all, like, then that's when we've been able to have single-digit turnovers. We just got to keep stressing that.
Anyone else? Awesome. Thanks, Coach.
Thanks.